you could have a 6-inch lift, 80 series on 35s. The cops pull you over for speeding. They're not going to do anything to your car. But it's really fun. Like, I really enjoy it. And I've never been one that's like, I'm not good at working for other people. So we'd sleep at Walmart car parks for free because you can do that. But as far as like public access go and getting remote, it's all on the South Island as far as I'm aware.
The Outer Side is proudly supported by Tie Gear. Head to www.tiegear.com to explore the wide range of high-quality camping essentials, including guy ropes, screw-in tent pegs, tie-downs, and heaps more. Tie Gear. Adventure secured. Dog and Gun Coffee. Check out www.dogandguncoffee.com to grab yourself some bloody good coffee ready for adventure. G'day and welcome to the Outer Side. I'm Tony, and in this episode I'm joined by Brad Willets from Cold Start, New Zealand. Welcome to the show, mate.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I'm excited to be back here in, well, it is sunny today, sunny New Zealand.
Sometimes it's sunny.
Yes. We'll get to that. Starting with the Fast Five, I'll ask you 5 questions. You answer with the first thing that comes to mind. What is your dream car?
Probably a 60 on a 80 chassis.
Hell yeah.
I've seen a few that are ute chopped with a tub. I'm kind of into that.
Yeah, okay.
I also really like the discos that are chopped.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like a Disco 2 ute chopped.
Best movie of all time?
Oh, best movie of all time. Lord of the Rings, maybe? I don't know.
Okay, that's a very...
I'm a big fan of Kill Bill.
Oh, now we're talking.
Green Mile as well.
Yeah. See, I can't comment on Lord of the Rings because I've never watched it. I'm one of those unusual people, but it's a diplomatic answer being in New Zealand that you would like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
What is the worst car you've ever driven?
A Daewoo Nubira, which was my first car.
What happened to Daewoo?
I don't know.
Is that still a thing?
I don't know. My one definitely won't be a thing anymore, my car, but...
I'd completely forgotten about them, but I had a Daewoo, actually, I still have a Daewoo refrigerator. I use it as a dry aging fridge for my fish.
I didn't know they made fridges, but...
Yeah, well, the fridge has been great. I've had it for like 20 years, so there you go.
Funny they made their cars that well.
Yeah, nah, they weren't a thing. Favourite band or music artist?
I would be lying if I didn't say Suicide Boys.
Yeah, that's a different one. I haven't had that one before.
A bit rogue, but yeah.
Okay, I'm about it. And what would you eat for your last meal? Is
this like I'm about to like death row last meal or just last meal?
That was the genesis of this particular question, was death row meals. So yeah, let's go with that.
Ribeye steak, crayfish, and cowboy butter. Yeah. Have you ever had cowboy butter?
No, what is cowboy butter?
It's just like a lot of butter with spices and mustard and a few other things. I'll make it if you come on a trip one day. But yeah, I would have that. We make it a lot when we go away on trips.
Hell yeah.
And it's just
So is that like a compound butter? Like you make it before you go, or do you make it on...
You like melt it on the fire. It's like a sauce.
Yeah, okay.
So you get your strip of steak, you dunk it in the butter.
All right, I'm about all of those things.
Yeah. It's insane. It probably shaves years off your life, but...
So does everything that is enjoyable, in my experience.
Yeah.
Ribeye steak is probably... Now, I have not done any kind of data analysis on this, but asking that question of many guests now, I reckon ribeye is probably the answer that I get more often than not.
Yeah.
There's something about that.
It's arguably the best cut.
I'm not going to argue.
Yeah.
I reckon it's great.
Yeah, it's certainly probably the most expensive one at the supermarket. So
yeah. So let's hear a little bit about you, mate. So I know of you in relation to Cold Start, but before we get into that part of your life, how did you get into the 4x4 and camping space originally? Was it something you did as a kid?
Yeah, we did a little bit as a kid. My dad had a Patrol at one point. We've had a Delica, a few other cars. It definitely went with my parents, but I think sort of late teens stopped and kind of just had normal cars. When I lived in Perth, I had a Pajero for a little bit, and we used to go on trips then, but not as much as we go here.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I moved here, we kind of made the point of immediately buying a four-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I bought a Pajero.
I don't hate Pajeros.
My one blew up,
Okay,
so
well, you'd probably hate that one,
not
but
a big
I actually
fan of
kind of
that
think
one.
Pajeros are cool.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
you know.
It looked cool. It just blew up in the middle of nowhere. But
Oh, good.
yeah, it wasn't since moving here that I got really into it.
Yeah.
And I think I got even more into it when Belle pulled me over on the side of the road and asked if my name was Brad Willets. And I was like, okay, yeah, it is. And I probably owe a lot to Belle, to be honest, because she pulled me over on the side of the road. She obviously followed me on Instagram and stuff like that. We both live in Wanaka. And yeah, I think from that interaction and then going on trips with Belle and her mates then, it's just grown a lot.
Yeah,
like
right.
the a bit more passion for it
Yeah.
since then. So yeah, that's what got me into it, I think.
pretty
I've
cool.
always been interested, but yeah, since moving here and like the access that you have here to the mountains and stuff, I'm hooked.
Yeah, that's mad. So for anyone that doesn't know who Brad's talking about, Belle Jones is who we're speaking about, and was recently on an episode. I cannot remember the episode number, but I will throw it on the screen for you, and it's worth checking it out. If nothing else, just where we shot that was, I reckon, the best backdrop I've had for a show yet.
Yeah.
That was a stunning property. So that's pretty cool. So what, she just recognised your car or you?
I think she recognised the car.
Yeah.
And then I think at the time she was trying to get like a group together.
Yeah.
And I just got added into like an Instagram chat called the Meat Pack. And from then on, it's just spiraled. And like pretty much all the friends I have now are from that encounter, essentially. Met a lot of people and then started a business with 4WD driving. So
it's Belle is like the New Zealand 4x4 ambassador. She's so focused on promoting New Zealand as a destination and the 4WD drive community here, and she's doing a great job of that, I think.
Yeah.
You don't have to answer if you don't want. Does she call you Bread?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, most people do.
She sent me a message earlier today and referred to you as Bread, and I was like, I don't think that's a typo. I had to ask you about that.
I try and call her Belinda as much as I possibly can, but...
That's funny. So did you start going camp with your family as a kid? Your parents might have a 4WD drive, and then you kind of go away from it for a little while, and then you find the love for it again as you get a bit older. Is that kind of what happened with you?
Yeah, I think so. Like it had like Commodores, and I used to have a Valiant at one point.
Sick.
That was a hard daily. Because
old
nightmare,
and
very
unreliable.
old. Yeah, I snapped the axle on that on the driveway once, putting it in reverse. That's just
It
like
seems
so
to
old
be a
and
common
brittle.
trend with you and axles and driveways from the story you told me just before we started filming.
Maybe we'll get to that later. I just got into that, and like in my teenage years, I was just like a BMX skate park kid. So that was my whole life. In Perth until I sort of got a bit too old to, break my knees at the skate park and do all that.
Yeah, the falls start to hurt more as you get older.
You get a job and responsibilities and stuff. You can't just break a bone and hang out at home and it's all good. So that kind of ended, and then I did some traveling and stuff like that, and then I've ended up in New Zealand. Yeah,
right. And from our last conversation, you've done a lot of international travel.
I've done a fair bit. From my early 20s, I probably did 2 or 3 years overseas. Just your sort of general backpacking through Southeast Asia. I went and did some workaways in Europe. Worked on like farms and stuff like that. It's a really good way to travel if you don't have a lot of money.
Yeah.
And then I did a ski season in Canada.
Yeah, wow.
And after I finished my ski season, I did about a year in a van around the States and went up to Alaska and all that sort of stuff.
You're being extremely humble with the I've done a bit of travel, like...
It sounds like a lot, but lots of people travel a lot now as well.
Yeah, they do.
It's also, I haven't done it for a long time.
Yeah, so like it's old news.
It's old news for me, at least. But the year that I traveled in my van is like the most like freedom I think I'll ever get. Like it was no job, no worries.
How did you fund that?
I just saved when I was in Perth.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I just saved up enough money, and I worked the ski season, so that obviously kept my piggy bank alive for a little bit. And back then, pre-COVID, everything was
Slightly more affordable?
slightly more affordable, or much more affordable.
So what sort of van are we talking here?
I had a Chevy Astro van.
Oh, I know what that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a pretty good van. It only broke down a couple of times in really remote places. But I always figured it out, like, you're never that far from anywhere in the States. It's not like the outback or anything.
Nah, and that's something I'm still trying to get my head around with. I've only been to the States a couple of times now, and someone said to me over there, you're never more than 300 miles from a gas station.
Yeah, you're never that far away from anywhere. And like at one time I got towed to I was in the middle of the desert in Texas, blew the radiator on my van, and then some guy pulled. I didn't even have a phone when I travelled around America, like no SIM card or anything. And some guy, he was just raw dogging it really. Like we couldn't afford it. Like it was full. Like we've got this. I was with my mate. He had his own van. We've got this much money. You just stretch it out as much as possible. So we'd sleep at Walmart car parks for free because you can do that.
Yeah, that's like an actual thing over there.
It's a full thing. Yeah. Yeah, it's Walmart and like maybe a couple of Targets and things like that. But yeah, I've probably been to like 100 plus Walmarts. Yeah.
Brad's US tour of Walmart.
It really is. It really is. Yeah. If you're on a budget, that's what you do for sure. Like I slept once at Compton Walmart.
Sick.
Yeah, that was intense.
Yeah. You're like, I need to wake up. I need to go to the toilet. No,
yeah.
I don't.
No, you don't get out of the car. Yeah. And yeah, a guy pulled over. We luckily pulled over under a bridge because it was about 40 degrees, I think. Guy pulls over and he had a satellite phone in his car, and he called the tow truck. Tow truck picked me up. Got dropped off at a Napa store, and this is in the middle of nowhere. He just so happened to have the radiator for my car at the Napa shop. And then the dude at the store calls his mate, who's like this Mexican guy. The Mexican guy rocks up, fixes my radiator, and I was like, "What do I owe you?" He's like, "Oh, $100 US and a Powerade slushie from the petrol station." And I was like, "Are you sure? Like, I'll just give you more money." He's like, "No, like I want a Powerade slushie."
Doesn't want to break the 100.
He was sure about it. Yeah. So I had to run off and go get him that and come back, give him his slushie and his $100.
That's pretty cool, man. So with that trip, I mean, you're in a van. That's not a 4x4 van, I don't think.
Yeah, I didn't really do too much off-roading.
Yeah, okay.
Did a little bit.
Just on the highways and just cruising around?
Yeah, we went through a few national parks. I think there's one called Canyon something in Utah. That was kind of like dirt roads. But yeah, no, like, I don't think the four-wheel drive thing was actually like even in my head at that time.
You were just cruising around?
I was just cruising around.
Did you have any kind of plan, or did you just drive?
No, we started in Calgary, across the border, and then it was just like, where are we going today, for about a year.
That's mad.
Yeah.
That's like proper adventure stuff.
If you ever get the chance, go to Talladega, the NASCAR race.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that is crazy. Crazy time. Yeah.
They get like 100,000 people to those events, right?
Yeah, and they all camp there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so there's like 100,000. I felt like 100,000 people anyway. They all camp there, and it's just a big party. It's a big like bush duff, basically. And you can buy moonshine off hillbillies and all this sort of stuff. And there's like, on the last night, there was multiple people just setting their caravans on fire. It was obviously like a one-time use thing. They were just lighting them on fire.
Yeah, right.
Lighting couches and mattresses and all. It's insane. Yeah.
I
well worth going.
I feel like I would enjoy all of those things just for the spectacle. I don't know if I'd personally like to light any of my belongings on fire at the end of a camping trip, but
It's different over there though. Yeah.
It is very different.
Yeah.
Very different. Before we started filming, you quite rightly pointed out that you are, in fact, my second Kiwi guest that is not a Kiwi.
Yeah.
So you were in Perth. You went and travelled around Canada, US, and Europe and all that.
Yeah.
And then you went back home before you moved here. Is that right?
Yeah. So I've run out of money basically. I left my van in Canada and I was like, right, I'm gonna.
You didn't set it on fire, or
didn't set it on fire. I flew back and was like, all right, I'm going to be here for 6 months. I got my old job back, and I was like, I'm going to save, I'm going to move to Canada. And when I was in Perth, I hopped on Tinder and matched with my now fiance.
Hey.
Yeah.
There you go.
So that changed the plans a little bit. Obviously, Sakara wasn't that keen to move to the other side of the world with
A bloke should just
a
met on
new
the internet.
bloke. Yeah. So we kind of hung around Perth for a little bit longer, and she always knew that like I wasn't going to stay there. And we come up, we're thinking of places to go, and we settled on we'll come to New Zealand for a year,
Yeah.
and we'll see how it goes. And I think it's been 8.
Yeah.
Either been 7 or 8 years.
So what was that? What was the reasoning that you weren't going to stay in Perth?
Oh, I just had such a good time in Canada,
Yeah, right.
like in the mountains. And then you come back to Perth, and it was just like
flat.
Yeah. And like you kind of like, when you travel like that, people, it's that cliche, it changes you. Like it did. You go from like wanting to go out partying and doing all that, and then I just wanted to go on missions.
Northbridge didn't seem so appealing after.
I was the completed Northbridge, I think. Yeah. I was finished.
Yeah, you finished it.
Yeah. I didn't want to know about any of that anymore, and I just wanted to go take photos and go camping and do all that. And yeah, Wanaka and Queenstown looked like the place.
Had you travelled here previously?
I came here when I was a kid, like a very young, but I don't really remember any of it. I looked at photos and stuff, but
Right. Oh, that looks good. Let's go check that out.
yeah, let's go there. Yeah,
right.
Mountains.
I love that because I'm the opposite to you in so far as I've always been like very much about my home base. I love like the security of having my home to come back to. It's always good when the host of the podcast forgets to put his phone on silent. Apologies. I've always liked traveling and adventure, of course, but I like coming home as well, and I like having that security blanket of it. Whereas I'm getting the impression from you that you're quite happy to just go and just flip the table and go do some wild adventure.
I think it's like I was like that when I was in my 20s. I could just move around and like I'd be like, I'll come back, whatever. But when I met Sakara and when I was back in Perth, I was like, I need a new home base. So that's this now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I was kind of done with like, you can come and go on like these big travel trips, but you come home completely broke. Like you don't own a car, you don't even have no phone plan. Your phone's buggered because you've been cheap for ages, and I just got sick of that basically. So yeah, I needed a new base. We actually haven't done much traveling at all. We've been to Rarotonga and back to Perth once.
But no big international missions?
Nothing big, yeah.
Right.
Well, I can't afford it now.
Yeah, well...
New Zealand's expensive.
That's it's wild, hey? Even just, we're in Auckland now, but I look occasionally at the property prices here and it's comparable to Sydney.
Yeah, it's very hard to buy a house here. And it is expensive here, but I think it's also gotten more expensive in Australia as well, from what I've heard. So it's probably not that much different.
No, it's pretty similar, but I don't believe that your salaries here are as high.
Yeah, the wages
as
will be
Sydney,
lower.
So the wage versus cost.
Unless you lived up here, like I think Auckland wages are pretty good.
Yeah, but you need it, right? Because Auckland's expensive.
Yeah, and there's just more like industry and job opportunities and stuff up here. It's where everyone lives, right? Like I don't know how many millions are in Auckland, but
you told me recently there's less than 1 million on the South Island.
I think it was like 800 and something thousand. I think it might be 1 million now, but yeah, there's 4 or 5 million on the North Island, and then the rest of us are on the South Island, which is basically like nobody. Like nobody lives there.
That's good though, right?
It's great.
If you're people like us that like seclusion and serenity, then that's the ideal outcome.
You can easily go out for the weekend and not see anybody.
That's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Even just half an hour from like where you guys went, like where I met you guys. That's like half an hour from Queenstown.
Yeah. And that was incredible scenery.
Nobody out there.
Some of you that follow my other Instagram page would have seen a few photos from there. But we shot a commercial for GME over there, which you'll see in about a month's time. Actually, that's not even true. In a couple of weeks' time, you'll see that. But an incredible piece of landscape down there.
Yeah.
And that was what spun me out, was you could see planes landing at Queenstown Airport from where we were sitting, and it felt like we're in the middle of nowhere. Yeah.
I think like you have to come on some other trips, but that's just like the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, I'm sure.
In terms of like beautiful scenery in New Zealand. So yeah, I have to get you up a valley.
Yeah, well, I've been following a lot of you guys over here for a long time now, and I see all all the missions you do, the photos and the videos.
Crazy,
And
yeah.
It's phenomenal. We even did like Arrowtown on the way out, and that was incredible. And
Yeah.
that was like drive through a town, take one turn, and you're like cutting up this valley. With,
Oh, the Macetown track.
yeah, it was incredible,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, it's cool.
It's a stunning place. So I'm not surprised that you've found home here.
I'll definitely be staying here. Like, I'm not going to be moving back or anything.
Not going back to Perth, mate. Go hang out with some miners.
No. No.
I shouldn't talk smack about Perth. I actually really like Perth, but
Perth is lovely, but not for me.
yeah,
Not
I
anymore.
get it, man. Well, I
Yeah.
grew up in Sydney and I left 4 years ago, and I will never go back.
Yeah.
It's okay to move and not go back to where you come from.
Yeah.
So you are a fellow 80 Series Land Cruiser aficionado now, but when I first came across you, you had a different vehicle, which is very uncommon in Australia to the point where I don't even know if there's any over there. What was that vehicle?
I do know of one in Australia.
Do you?
You might see it soon when you get your new bar work.
Very cryptic.
Yeah.
So what was that vehicle?
It's a 70 Series Prado.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it looks like a 76, kind of,
It looks exactly like a 76, but it has coils
all round,
all round.
and it's narrow nose.
It's exactly the same as like, not the new 76, but I forget what year it would be.
Okay.
But yeah, I believe they share like the same body.
I'll throw some photos up of it because it's a
Yeah.
cool car. So what engine did that have in it?
It has a 1KZ.
Hey, same as my Hilux.
Yeah.
Little 3-litre dog.
Yeah.
That would have been quite slow.
I'm going to cop a lot of shit on this podcast because I get it all the time for selling it.
Yeah.
Because it was in pretty good condition, but I also bought it for like peanuts and then sold it for a lot more.
Yeah.
You know, I did some work to it and stuff like that, but
Japanese import?
yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
New Zealand got them.
Oh, they did. So they were sold here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
There's heaps of them around.
Yeah, well, I saw one in the car park out
Yeah,
here
yeah.
on the way in. But yeah, so a 1KZ is not a powerhouse of an engine in stock form.
No, not really.
I have one in a very light Hilux and it is not fast.
Yeah. My mum was a manual. It wasn't too bad. I don't know what it would compare like to an 80. I've got a 12 valve 80, so it's also a slug. Yeah, I've never owned a fast four-wheel drive though, so I don't even have anything to compare it to.
I do own a fast four-wheel drive, and I would say that it is a terrible, terrible decision to make to try and make a four-wheel drive go fast because
Yeah,
it breaks things all the time
Yeah.
when you flog it.
I'll just lose my license.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad with that.
I'm safe in a slow 80 series.
No self-control, hey?
No, I drove that car the other day. That you can't. I don't think it's out of the frame, but
Yeah, it is.
there's an LS1 Defender there.
That would have been fun.
That's rowdy.
Yeah.
Yeah, sketchy almost.
I love that.
So light.
So was the Prado the first 4B that you bought over here, or did you have something else before that?
I had a Pajero that blew
that's
up,
right, yeah.
and then I bought a Colorado,
Oh, yeah.
and then didn't really want to get one at a wagon. Sold the Colorado, got the Prado, and then COVID happened, and COVID prices happened.
Oh, yeah, inflated the
Perceived
price. Value of everything.
Yeah, quite a lot, and I just couldn't help myself. So I sold it. It probably would have needed a ton of work 6 months ahead. You know, things were starting to let go, but yeah, sold that and basically built most of my 80 series with that money.
That's mad.
Yeah.
So what sort of year are we talking on that Prado? Was it early 2000s?
I think it's a 90. It was a 93,
Oh, right, okay.
I think, or a 95.
Yeah, okay. So an old boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the 80 you've got now, what year's that one?
That's a 92.
Yeah,
It's older than me.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So yours is a 1HDT?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Was it a bit of a change for you, like going backwards in terms of like the age of the vehicle, or it doesn't matter?
I don't think there's much difference between them.
Yeah.
But it's all 90s Toyota tech. But actually, like the 80 series being older, but it had cruise control. It's got way better heating and all that
Yeah.
sort of stuff. Felt better to drive.
They're super comfortable.
They're super
cars,
comfy.
hey?
Yeah.
Because for its time, it had
Yeah.
heaps, like,
Like
well,
luxury vehicles.
Well,
back
my
in the day.
92 Land Cruiser has power windows, central locking, all these very basic things. But then
Yeah.
I've got an 04 Hilux that has none of
Yeah,
those
yeah,
things.
yeah.
You know?
The new 79 series probably doesn't have half of that.
No, it absolutely wouldn't
Yeah.
have that. I think it still has one cup holder.
Yeah.
Well, actually, so did an 80 from factory, so you shouldn't get too carried away. But yeah,
Yeah.
they are a cool car in terms of how well they've aged, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, mine still looks, I think it's probably had resprays and stuff, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's in pretty good nick.
So the 80 series, you said you've built it up, you've done some mods. So was that a stock car when you bought it?
Yeah, it was stock. Yeah, stock lift, stock tyres on it. I think the only thing that was done to it was probably someone put a dash mat in it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's pretty tidy. I think he'd resprayed it as well. But yeah, it's factory lockers on it as well. And then since then it's got lift, tyres, bull bars, like front and rear bar, sliders. Next thing will be more lift, more tyre. Because I've got a bit of a weight issue at the moment, I think. Drawers in the back and all that sort of stuff.
Because you've got roof tent, drawers.
A roof tent, an awning,
It
drawers,
adds up,
fridge, yeah. So it's starting to sag a little bit, and the suspension's probably like 2 years old, so it's probably getting a little bit tired. So that'll be the next thing, and then probably have to get cert for that, which is like, engineering.
So
over
what
here.
sort of, I mean, you don't have to give me an exact number, but you bought that post-COVID over here, so after the four-wheel drive market had already gone stupid. Are they expensive over here?
They can be.
Yeah.
I think, if you, like, I bought it up in Auckland, flew up here and drove it back. So I think if you buy one up here, it's going to be a little bit cheaper.
Okay. Just because there's more of them.
Yeah, there's just way more people selling cars up here, right? Whereas if you sold it down in Wanaka, for example, there'll be 280 series for sale. Maybe.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe one. Yeah, I bought the 80 for, I think it was 18 grand.
Okay.
So it's
So
not too
kind of
bad.
similar to...
But you easily find some people list them for 60.
Really?
Yeah, well, that's obviously done heaps of work to it.
Yeah. And do they sell for that kind of money over
Probably
here?
not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I paid 26 for mine, but it had a fair bit of gear on it already.
Yeah.
Which I've got rid of absolutely everything and changed everything since. So in hindsight, a stock one would have been a much better idea.
Yeah.
But it was interesting to see, like, through COVID, the pricing just getting more and more stupid. And now I feel like it's kind of normalised a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's almost back to normal now.
Unless it's a 79 dual cab and then the starting price is 200 grand.
Yeah, way more than they are new.
Yeah. I saw one for sale just this week back home that's never been registered, and it was a 2024 V8 dual cab. Didn't even have a tray on it. Like, it was a cab chassis, and the guy was like, yeah, it's 124 grand. I'm like, dude, but someone will buy it.
Yeah, it's everyone catching on to that wait time, eh? Like, people don't want to wait, so they'll pay a little bit more.
And no more V8s.
Yeah, and then
so
no
they're
more
all
V8s.
obsessed with that underpowered boat anchor of a V8.
Yeah.
What's the sort of go here in terms of four-wheel drive access? So you mentioned, I think in the car on the way over here, that Auckland there's not a heap of sort of stuff that you can do, but down south you guys have got pretty good public land access down there.
Yeah. There is some stuff on the North Island, like there's like the desert. I don't actually know that much about the North Island stuff, but I know there's some stuff near Rotorua, and there's plenty of like hard sort of wheeling tracks on the North Island.
Okay.
But as far as like public access go and getting remote, it's all on the South Island as far as I'm aware. And yeah, it's basically anywhere that's conservation land or like public land, just not labelled as anything, you can generally access, as well as some dock land as well. Well, quite a lot of dock land as well. But they'll kind of decide whether or not four-wheel drives are allowed of that particular area. But yeah, if you went onto a map and looked up all the riverbeds and all the valleys on the South Island, a lot of them you're going to be able to drive up.
That's so
basically,
good.
and there's huts everywhere. And does Australia have huts?
In Victoria, there's heaps of them up in the high country. Like old cattlemen's huts, I think you find, or like drovers' huts.
Yeah.
A lot of them have been burnt because we love a bushfire in Australia. But then there's a whole group, and now I don't know a great deal about this, but I know that there's like a hut conservation group in the high country, and they do like little working bees, and they'll go out and fix these huts up and maintain them and rebuild them if they get burnt and all this sort of stuff, which is kind of cool. So Dockland, That's Department of Conservation, which is, I guess, equivalent to national parks in Australia.
Yeah, I mean, we have national parks. DOC are the ones that look after
Okay.
public land, basically.
Also, they look after all of it. And
Yeah,
the
yeah.
national parks are just a categorization.
Yeah,
within
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
pretty much. So it's like government. It's the government running looking after the environment, I guess.
So, is it that four-wheel driving is looked upon more fondly in New Zealand?
Oh, I don't know about that. It's probably there's not as much people doing it,
So the pressure is less.
so the pressure is less. Like, yeah, one of my mates, Alfie, he was doing these big meetups on the South Island, and he'd done a few, and they kind of went all right. But we did one to Macaulay Hut, which is near Tekapo on the South Island, and there was 55 or 56 trucks showed up, and unfortunately for him, the reels went viral on the internet. They went viral on Instagram. I think Bell was one of them.
Yep.
And that blew it up, and Doc saw that, and they didn't like that at all, basically. So you kind of got to like slap on the wrist for that, for not being in a four-wheel drive club and things like that. Even though it was all very safe and well organised, and everyone was on their best behaviour the whole time. But I just don't think they wanted to publicise things like that. Yeah. I think we've got it pretty good here, basically, as far as the authorities go.
Yeah, okay.
As well as like, even I see a lot of in Australia with the police cracking down on things, and there's not really any of that going on here
Yeah.
yet.
Yep.
We still need to get all the vehicles need to be certified if they're over a certain height, and you do X, Y, Z to it. But you could have a 6-inch lift 80 series on 35s. The cops pull you over for speeding. They're not going to do anything to your car.
Yeah.
At least on the South Island.
Yeah.
Might happen here, but yeah, everything's just way more relaxed. They're not hunting us down like they are in Australia.
Oh, they are, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
in Australia, it is absolutely targeted.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
cops on dirt bikes in the high country defecting people on
Yeah,
four-wheel drive
that
trucks.
blows my mind.
It's just
Cops
rude.
on the beach and stuff.
Yeah, well, not far from where I live is Stockton Beach, where you can drive. It's one of the only places on the east coast anyway, where you can drive in the dunes.
Yeah.
So a lot of the beach access we have, you can drive along like between the low and high tide marks, but you
Yeah,
can't
right.
drive up in the dunes.
Yeah.
But Stockton's one place you can in a particular area, and every long weekend, public holidays, they will set up a defect station on the entry track to the beach and just pin everyone coming in.
Insane, eh?
Which I really don't understand.
You would think it's like not a road, so they can't. But
Well,
they seem to be doing it anyway.
Anywhere
so-
you've got a registered vehicle in Australia,
Yeah.
even if it's on a trailer, you can get defected.
Yeah, because that's not the case here.
Nah.
Like, you can just trailer your winch truck to the car park, let's say, and then just send that up a valley.
And that's fine.
It's not a road. Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. What you said though about the meet that Alfie organised, and of course, like anything, when it gets heaps of media exposure, then the authorities kind of have to do something, even though they don't really have to.
Yeah.
But I guess that's always the risk, right? Is if things get too popular and too many people start doing it, then
Yeah, I just think they just wanted to put their foot down basically and like stop it from happening again.
so what
or
was
becoming
the,
a thing.
What was the reasoning? So not in a four-wheel drive club. So what, didn't have permits to do a gathering?
I
or
think
something?
it was that. I think so one of the guys found a wild cat at the hut, and it's just like a little kitten.
Yeah.
So he grabbed it and he took it home. So it's a pest in New Zealand, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say to drown it, or
No, he took it home and he gave it to his parents. And now it's living a really nice life in Nelson or something. But they didn't like, Doc hated that, I think, and they kind of gave him a hard time on that, because I think a clip of that was on one of the reels on Instagram. So they pinned him on that. And essentially all he did is he took the cat out of the area that they don't want cats.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what they expected someone to do.
I mean, look,
Report it, I
don't
guess.
know enough about
Yeah.
environmental science, but I do know in Australia that transporting feral animals is highly illegal. But what I would say is he must have got the kitten very young, because feral cats are feral from a very
Yeah,
young
it was
age.
literally like
they go rank
Yeah,
when
yeah.
they're not very old.
Yeah,
So
I think there's like a clip of it, and it's in his pocket or something.
yeah, it's like a few days old.
Yeah,
Well, that cat dodged a bullet, or dodged 1080 bait, as the case may be over here.
yeah.
That's a shame, hey, because I've seen some of those clips that you're talking about, and it just looked like a ton of fun.
Looks really good, doesn't it? Yeah. It was one of the best trips I've ever been on, for sure. Yeah, we had 40 centimeters of snow that night. My rooftop tent collapsed on me as well from the snow. Yeah,
Like self-latches.
yeah, just shut on me. I just woke up in the middle of the night with the tent like closed on me.
Oh, good.
I had to get up and brush all the snow off and do all that.
So
go
what
back
was
to bed soaking wet.
What was the purpose of the trip? Was it just to have fun, or was there like an intent behind it?
I think it's just like fun. Yeah, it's just like a community thing. The four-wheel drive industry on the South Island is small, but it's really good.
Yeah.
Like most of the time, everyone's real friendly. Everyone's really passionate. Everyone's really into it. Yeah, it's a really good group of people
Yeah, that's
down
cool.
here. And I think Alfie was just trying to connect everyone. He's now opened a four-wheel drive club, so he's doing it the right way now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When you were telling me about this, when we were down on the South Island, it got my mind going, hey, about how much I'd love to do something like that in Australia, but we run into the same problems, right? Just permits. I think it's in national parkland in Australia, it's more than 20 people, not even vehicles. It's like more than 20 people is an official gathering, and you need to go through a whole permit process. And I can tell you now, if you put in a permit to say, hey, we're going to have 55 four-wheel drives attend this, they're just going to say no.
Yeah.
And if you go ahead with it, there'll probably be a defect station and a
Yeah,
series of locked gates in front of you.
Stitch up. Yeah.
That's a shame. But I mean, the fact that you have a little bit more flexibility and freedom with vehicle modifications, I think is a great thing.
Yeah.
From my extensive studies of New Zealand Highway Patrol TV shows, they only seem to care about cars that are truly unroadworthy, right? Like things that shouldn't be on the road.
I think the street cars cop it a little bit as well. The boy racer sort of cars. There's probably none of them in Wanaka, to be honest. So I don't really see it, but I've seen it a little bit since we've been in Auckland.
Yeah.
So they've got that sort of car culture here, whereas Christchurch and Queensland, there's a lot more four-wheel drive stuff going on.
Yeah.
Because you kind of like the street cars. If you lived in Queenstown or Wanaka, you wouldn't be able to drive it sometimes because of like ice,
wet, ice,
snowy roads, and you kind of need. Well, you don't need a four-wheel drive. You at least need an all-wheel drive.
It's handy,
to get around.
There's a pretty big
safely.
import scene here, though, right? Because you guys have got heaps of Japanese imports from back in the day.
Yeah. I think a lot of people buy their cars from there and ship them over.
Is there anything you've done in terms of trips within New Zealand that stand out as better than the others? So is there like a location you've been, or a particular trip that you've done here in the 80 that really stood out?
The one with Alfie was up there for sure. Every year so far we've gone away for about 3 weeks over New Year's and Christmas, and we'll kind of do as many tracks as we can squeeze in, but also just hang out and have a beer and eat some food and stuff. But yeah, we go up to a batch in Marlborough Sands. One of our friends, Shiny and Mark, they own a batch up there, which is like a cabin. I don't know if is batch is not an Aussie word, eh?
No, it's not. I was going to ask you to clarify that. I know what it means, but I'm sure a lot of people back home are like, what?
Yeah, a cabin?
Yes, it's like a shack, right?
A shack.
Because we have, I mean, in WA, people have beach shacks, right?
Yeah, up in Lancelin and stuff, and so it's a shack. But it's a house, basically, in the middle of it. Everyone calls them batches.
Do they have unclear ownership provenance, like the shacks back home? Because I know back home, people will own these shacks, and you're like, how do you own this?
100-year
and they
leases,
can't really explain how they came to own it.
I think that's a thing in a few areas of New Zealand, but I think they just own the land there. Okay. Yeah, I think on the west coast, on the South Island, you can buy like a 100-year lease and put a hut up there. I think it's more for people that want to go fishing or little hunting shacks and things like that. Yeah, so there's plenty of that going on. But yeah, as far as like standout trips, just every time we go on that New Year's trip, it's so good.
So
Like-
for someone like me who's geographically challenged, how big is the South Island? So from Picton to, say, Invercargill, how far is that?
I think if you drove it straight, it'd probably be 14 hours.
Oh, okay, so it's pretty far. So what's that, 1,500 k or something?
Yeah, it's more like if it was like the Nullarbor,
Yes,
it would be real quick,
yes.
right? Like as the crow flies, it's not very far at all. But because we've got a whole mountain range, and well, nowhere's flat, right? Basically, I think Christchurch has got the only flat bit in the whole South Island. So you're just zigzagging.
Yeah.
So it's 14 hours of zigzagging and up and down and all that sort of stuff. So that's why it takes so long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But surely you wouldn't be expressing that anyway because it's so beautiful and there's so much to see, right?
Yeah, you could spend months and months and months driving around just the South Island.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's heaps to see. Yeah.
Is there a big touring scene here like there is in Australia? Like people doing the lap in Australia is like the thing, right?
pinnacle. Yeah, I think so. You see people like clearly living out of their trucks and their vans, and there's people in like unimogs getting around and all that
true.
sort of stuff. I definitely think there is a thing here. I'd think it would be it's probably more people moving from place to place and spending a lot of time there.
Yeah.
Rather than just zipping around. And Australians do that, they take their time and go around as well. So it'd be much of the same, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably not like, I can kind of tell like the Aussie lap is a really big thing. Everyone wants to do that. I want to do that.
Yeah.
It's probably not so much of a big thing here.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, you don't actually need to go on big trips here. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Like you can cross from the east coast to the west coast in like 3 hours and be in a completely different environment.
Yes.
Yeah, like Wanaka, where I'm in Wanaka, like 3 hours in any direction is a completely different environment. So you can go to the west coast, you'd be on like rainforest essentially, or you can go north and you're in Mount Cook, like the biggest mountain in the country. You go to the east coast, it kind of looks like Scotland to me. Or you go down south and it's beachy, lots of rain to be honest.
Cold,
and
wet,
cold.
miserable.
Yeah. I think it's good surfing and stuff down there. So if you're into that, you
Great
go down
seafood
there.
down there too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but I suppose you're right. Like in Australia, you can drive for 3 hours and still be on the same property. Not in a completely different geographic area and different terrain.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like, once I'd kind of lived in Perth for so long, you go to Margaret River and like up to Exmouth. That's kind of like the limit before you're like quitting your job to go somewhere, you know, because you've got to go so far. Like it's such a long drive.
That really is the thing.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to go here, so I'm going to have to quit my job and sell
Yeah,
my house
it's so
to go
far.
there.
Yeah. Unless you're like keen on 16 hours in the car, you know. Yeah.
So you're obviously a keen photographer. Were you doing that for work, or was that just a hobby?
I have done it for work. I've done it full time before, and but for the most part, I've just done it as like a side hustle.
Okay.
Essentially, you really need a side hustle when you live here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did it in Perth as well. Like I would go and shoot food like restaurants, and I did a couple of weddings, and the photography thing started off with BMX. That's when I picked up a camera, and then I gave it a good nudge when I moved here, because it's just so easy.
It's hard to take a bad photo.
It's hard to take a bad photo, and like there's not a lot of people here in general, and there's even less photographers. So if you're trying to work with like outdoor brands, you're already in the location, and people kind of want to use you for that. Bell's a prime example.
Yeah, definitely.
But I don't really want to do that full time. It's not what I want to do forever. So yeah, I kind of use that skill to create a brand, Cold Start.
So when did Cold start?
It probably started about 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
So we're fairly new. We turned two on the 16th. I actually have no idea what the day is.
It's the 20th of February.
So 4 days ago we turned 2, and that was
nice.
the launch date.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, we're about 2 years, 2.5 years old. And yeah, we've been going, it's been growing well, I think. We started off just with like t-shirts, and then we kind of like, oh well, we need a product, so we start off with canvas bags. We do all the clear top bags. We kind of like, we didn't invent the cutlery roll, but we made our own.
Yep.
We made a spice jar bag, and then we've got some collapsible buckets and a few other little knickknacks.
Yep.
And that kind of went on for about a year, I think. And then we had another brand reach out to us and ask if we wanted to sell their stuff, which was Petromax, which is like outdoor cooking stuff.
Okay.
Which kind of like goes with our gear
Yep.
already. And that kind of got an idea in my head of like, well, what else can we sell? And then we eventually ended up basically rebranding it as like Cold Start 4x4 and outdoors, and then we're Cold Start Camp Goods. So that's kind of like two brands.
Mm-hmm.
And Cold Starts, I hope, will turn into eventually into like full vehicle outfitter sort of shop.
Man.
Yeah.
So where did the name come from?
I've been told not to tell this story on the internet because the guy will get a big head, but I'll tell it anyway. I was camping with Mike, who you know, and one of his mates, a couple of our mates, and another guy called Francis. Francis owns Franklin Motor Group, motor company, and they rebuild Land Rovers.
Yep.
So camping with him, and he got up a little bit earlier than us in the morning and turned his Defender on, and he just yelled, "Oh, Cold Start!" I was in my tent, but at the time I was trying to think of names. I can't remember any other name that I was thinking about.
Yep.
Because as soon as I heard him say Cold Start, I was like, "That's the one."
Yep.
Yeah.
I went through the exact same process with this, with the brand for the outer side, right? I had so many different names bouncing around in my head and none of them fit. And then when I came up with this, I was like, yep, that's it.
Yeah.
All right,
Ding.
the rest are done.
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm quite happy with the name. It's like, at least it's not something four-wheel drive or, you know, off-road something. You know, they're all, a lot of the names are very similar. And yeah, I was stoked when that idea pinged in my head.
Well, if you were an American, sorry to my American audience, but if you start an outdoor 4x4 brand in America, it has to have the words overland and or expedition somewhere in some sort of configuration in it. So yes, I like it too, that it's something completely different.
Yeah, yeah.
So is that you that started it, or have you got partners in it, or what's the sort of setup?
So me and Tom run Cold Start.
Yep.
We both come up with the idea sitting around a fire.
Good.
I think the idea was like, how do we write these trips off tax, basically? How do we make this financially viable, basically? And then it's just spiraled, really. I think, we started with no intentions of like having a shop in Wanaka, a physical store, but that's how it goes, I guess. It just got, yeah.
So have you like done business stuff before? Have you ever started a business and started a brand?
Nope, never started a brand. I've like run my own like photography business to some extent, but nothing compared to what I've had to learn. Yeah, all the Shopify stuff and, you know, GST returns and, you know, just everything basically. I've had to learn all of it.
Yeah.
But it's really fun. Like I really enjoy it, and I've never been one that's like, I'm not good at working for other people. Mm-hmm. But when you've got your own thing going on, it doesn't feel like a job. At all.
And when it's something that you're passionate about and you're interested in, it's kind of fun, right? Yeah. You get to enjoy like the milestones and stuff. I just don't get that when I'm working for someone else. Like, oh, you did so good this year, and it's really interesting though that you said that about, I guess, the administrative side of it. And I think it's something that a lot of people underestimate unless they've done it.
Yeah.
And I am one of those people that underestimated it. I was like, I could start a business. My God, I don't know anything.
Yeah, it's full on. There's so much to learn, and I don't think people that haven't done it, or even people that aren't in the e-commerce area, how much work goes into opening a Shopify store, especially when you've got multiple suppliers and all that. It just gets so incredibly complicated.
Yeah.
And then there's like networking and, you know, keeping, you know, your brand in good terms with everyone else, and, you know, keeping everyone happy, and creating content is another thing. Like I went into it, I was like, oh, we're going to be able to make content easy. but it quickly gets swallowed by all the other tasks that you have to do.
Yes.
And it suddenly becomes, it's difficult now, like you almost don't have time to do it now.
Yeah.
Luckily, we live in a really nice place, so whenever we get to go out on a trip,
Yeah.
it just gets turned into marketing material and content and stuff like that. We're trying to like make our brand, like if someone wants us to sell their gear, we'll also kind of help them with the marketing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so like Lucas Creek, I don't do their marketing, but we produce their content essentially. And that was kind of just part of the deal.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And then I guess you've got like a aesthetic and a minimum standard of quality of imagery and stuff that you can have some input into as well.
Yeah, it's almost like putting our little touch on all the other brands as well.
Yeah, and I mean, I would say it if you're sitting here or not, I think you guys do that really well. The content that you create, even just the product imagery and all that sort of stuff, you can tell there's care and there's passion that goes into it.
Yeah. Well, it's the one thing I kind of knew what I was doing. The rest of it, I had no idea.
That's what you had to learn.
Yeah.
So is it, I mean, it's obviously growing. You've got the shop down in Wanaka now, and you know, you're thinking about other things that you can do, but has it been well received here in terms of in the community?
Yeah, from what I can tell, it's really well received. I think we had our first sort of breakthrough when we did the first Christchurch Expo, and we ended up just getting a little area with our, some of our friends, Rome and Judge & Co. They had a big site. And we just took a little table and a little banner and our bags. It was very small. And just the amount of people that knew the brand already. And I think we launched in February and that might have been in September. So we were 6 months in, if that. And we just could not believe how many people were aware, even just aware of it. And then there's all the other people that are like, come just to buy the bag, or they just come to buy a t-shirt because they'd seen it online, or they knew our names from videos and all that sort of stuff. So that was like a big boost. Yeah. Just that one event.
And then to give you, I suppose, the confidence that
it was just
what you're doing is working.
Yeah, it was just a bit of confidence because it's obviously nerve-wracking, right? Starting a new business and a brand, you're like, am I doing the right thing?
Is everyone going to think I'm a loser? Yeah. All the self-doubt is, for me anyway, was the hardest part to overcome, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no one's going to care. No one wants to hear this. No one wants to see that.
Yeah, it's hard. It's the hardest part of being, and it's like imposter syndrome, right? Like, you're like,
but
what am I
just
doing?
Got to keep going regardless.
Yeah. But no, that was good, and we've done multiple shows since then, and they're always well received. And I think the best thing we've done so far is our partnership with Lucas Creek. We're on their site this weekend at the expo, and they're just the best people to deal with, and even just to be friends with. It's like such a good relationship. So I think for me and Tom, like, building all these things with all these relationships with people is probably the best part of it. And then just the fact, like, we get to go out to the mountains and go forward driving and ride off on tacks,
which is the driving force behind any outdoors business, right? How can I do fun stuff and get some tax back? Yeah. That's good, man. So when we talk about canvas bags, are you making them in New Zealand? Are you making them offshore and then bringing them in here? What's the sort of setup?
They were made in New Zealand for a bit, and then we moved to an Aussie manufacturer. So they made it. It's the same material as we were using here, but we ended up we moved and went to an Aussie manufacturer, and that's going really well so far.
Just as the volume increased and that sort of stuff? Yeah,
it was volume and it's just a bit safer, I think. The place that we use in New Zealand, got nothing bad to say about the guy. He's lovely, and he helped us out a lot in the early stages with product design and things like that. But was just one guy.
Yeah, right. So there's a limit to what he can produce, right?
Yeah, and like, if he's gets sick one week and we need something that week, that's buggered. And so I kind of wanted to fix that before we got stitched up.
Yeah.
So we found a place in Australia to do it, and they're a much bigger company, and they've got multiple machines and all that sort of stuff, lots of stuff. So,
but still locally produced. I mean, I know they're different countries, but it's local
Yeah,
enough.
yeah. Well, all the material that we would use in New Zealand, it's all Australian canvas anyway.
Yeah, true.
So the only difference is it's just getting made
Yep.
over there instead.
Yeah.
But yeah, the quality's just the same, if not better.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
And I know that Kiwis are, like, I think most countries, people that live in that country are proud of supporting local brands, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I know in Australia, people are really willing to support local Australian companies in the outdoors space, and I'm sure it's the same here.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Everyone loves the New Zealand made stuff.
Yeah.
The other thing is we just weren't making any money on it.
Yeah.
And we had to be realistic, and we needed some more margin. So, but I think New Zealand and Australia, same. Like, people are stoked that it's Australian made as well. It's just it's very hard to get anything manufactured in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Like, we have some plastic buckets that we sell. We just could not get them made here.
Yeah, because there's very few plastics factories.
Nobody wanted to know about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, plastic welding and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It's just impossible.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You know, when we do Australia and New Zealand, whilst there's lots of banter about who owns Russell Crowe and Lamingtons and all that sort of stuff, like, I think it's all in good-natured fun. And I think if it's not made in China, then that's a positive, right?
Yeah, that's it basically. Yeah.
So you've got, I've seen the spice jar holder, which I thought was really weird, but then when I looked at it, I was like, actually, this is cool.
Never forget a spice.
Well, it's just a thing that's really handy, and particularly for someone like me, where cooking is such a huge part of the camping experience for me.
Yeah. Same.
I reckon my family eats better when we're in the bush than when we do at home.
Yeah, we've often said that.
It's part of the event, right?
Yeah.
And it's something to do. It's like that community aspect of it, I think is cool.
I think we spend more money, like, I kind of make a point of spending more money on the camp meal than I would at home, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, you get like the bougie cut of meat or whatever you fancy, but it's a big thing for us. We've always got a tripod over the fire, cooking over the fire. It's the best way to do it.
I love it, and it's something that I think it's definitely for me has changed a lot, because for me when I was younger, camping was cadets and scouts, and it was eating tinned beef stew and wrap packs, ration packs with dried biscuits and that sort of stuff. And now, as I said, so much of it for us is about eating local seafood wherever we are, getting really nice cuts of meat, because you've got the time to dedicate to cooking it properly, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, if you're just sitting around you get to your campsite at 2 or 3 o'clock or whatever, you may as well make something good.
Yeah, you can either drink yourself into oblivion or make a nice meal.
Or both.
Yeah, you can do both, I suppose, That can always go pear-shaped, though.
Yeah.
I've dropped more food than I care to admit to into fires and in dirt for various reasons.
Yeah, burnt plenty of things in the fire or in the Dutch oven pot. Just forgetting about it.
You can cook the best food ever in a Dutch oven, and you can also really badly burn
as long as you watch it like a hawk. Yeah.
Not too much heat under the bottom of it.
No.
You can incinerate meals quite easily.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever successfully cooked garlic bread.
Oh no.
On the fire, that just always gets torched.
Yeah.
Because it's like the later thought. You bring it out later. Everyone's had a few more drinks and stuff like that. It's just
and then someone goes, "Does anyone check the garlic?" Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's just like a black
charcoal
shriveled mess.
Yeah.
Very good. So you've got the spice jar holder.
Yeah, spice jar bag we call it.
Spice jar bag.
Yeah.
And you've got the cutlery roll, and then you said the clear top bags and buckets and stuff.
Yeah.
So is there plans to expand that range? You don't have to reveal any of your industry secrets here, but...
Yeah, we do have quite a few other things lined up. It just comes down to cash flow and things like that at the end of the day. But yeah, we've got plenty of other ideas lined up and designed and things like that. I'd love to do a tyre bag.
Oh yeah.
It'd be a very expensive tyre bag, but it would be a very good tyre bag.
Very good tyre bags are very expensive.
Yeah. There's probably not that much of a market. There's not much competition in terms of that here. So I don't know if there's that many other brands in New Zealand that are making high quality canvas stuff. It's mostly people just running King's bags and snatch bags maybe.
Oh yeah.
I actually don't know. There's not that many here in general, really. So yeah, we're definitely going for quality over mass produced, quality over quantity.
Yes.
and I think people appreciate that.
I think you're right, and particularly with something like canvas, I feel like a good quality canvas product
Yeah,
is like cast iron or a good knife or something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that, where you can buy something and it ages really well and it's
Yeah.
not going to fall apart,
yeah,
and it's something that you could keep for ever,
yeah.
basically.
Yeah, we sell a lot more of it at the shows because people can feel it.
Yeah, feel the quality.
It's hard to like portray the quality online.
Yeah.
It's probably us like probably not doing enough with our socials to try and sell it. But yeah, when we're at the shows, people appreciate it and they feel it and they get to touch it and they're like, yeah, this is a premium product.
Oh, one question I did have for you. Do you sell to Australians?
We do.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's cool.
anything on the Cold Start website that is Cold Start branded
Yep.
will go to Australia.
Yeah, mate.
And international for that matter. You just have to email us. Because setting up international shipping for all that, very difficult. Yeah, but no, we do ship to Australia. Anything can go over there, and we've shipped plenty of t-shirts and hoodies and plenty of bags over already.
Yeah, mad.
So yeah,
So what's the web address for the store?
coldstart.co.nz.
Perfect, mate. And I'll drop all the links in the description like always. But mate, I really appreciate you taking the time. I know it's late, but I'm glad that we got to sit down and have a chat, and I'm excited to check out this show this weekend and see what's going on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been,
Too good,
it's
man.
been a pleasure.
Awesome, and I will definitely get you to take me up one of those valleys one of these days. I've got a little bit of a bug going at the moment from that.
Yeah,
trip we
you
did
need
a
to
few
come
months
over
ago.
on a winter trip and go up a valley.
Yeah,
That'll be that's peak South Island
I might
for
have
me.
to ship my 80 over here and
Yeah.
we can have a little 80 party.
Yeah.
All right.
There's lots of 80s around here.
Done.
Lots of 80s in Christchurch as well.
It sounds like a bloody good plan.
Yeah.
All right, mate. Thank you again.
Sweet.
And we'll see all of you next time on The Outer Side.